So I ran 1,000 miles in the Nike VaporFly 4%, and this is what I've got to say about them. Now before we start the video, guys, you've probably noticed my beard is absolutely atrocious. I understand it is. I've got a little playback camera here and I can see what's going on, but yeah, it's really thick, and I know I've dyed it too. I was sick and tired of the blonde bum fluff I was getting, so I thought let me dye it and then I'll shave it, but I haven't got round to shaving it. So don't judge, don't destroy me in the comment section, just leave me alone. I will get round to shaving it and I'll look as fresh as a baby. So let's just crack on with this video. So we're going to make it a small video. We're not going to make it too long, too crazy. Some reviews I know go on for ages. They go on for about 25 minutes talking about one pair of shoes, which is so annoying. So I'm going to quickly make this a short video and you can get on with your daily lives. So after running 1,000 miles in these shoes, I believe I've ran over 1,000 miles actually. I purchased these back in October of 2019. We are now in March, just gone March, so that's 1, 2, going backwards, 3, 4, 5, around about 6 months I believe, 5 or 6 months. If I'm wrong, they'll probably be sat on the screen. If there's not, great. But yeah, for a long time now. I've had them for about 4, 5, 6 months, and they've done me well. They've done me really, really well. Comfort, in my opinion, is not a strength in these shoes. Well, I mean, they're not the best regarding their comfort level. I'd probably put them around a 6 or a 7. What I mean by that is I believe it to be a high arch shoe. Now I know you may be able to get different shoes for different feet types or foot types. I am a slightly high foot runner, a high arched runner. My feet are quite high arched, so this shoe does comply with me a little bit. But one of my feet is actually a little bit dodgy than the other. So in one foot I do feel it a bit different. Let me bring the other one over. You can tell the wear is typically about the same. Now obviously a little bit dirty where I've been running in them. You could probably tell from the back as well. They are a little bit destroyed. Now I am definitely due a new pair. People do say that you change your running trainers every 200 to 300 miles. I do believe that to be quite low. I believe you can probably get around 1,000 miles in every pair of trainers you have, providing they are strong, stable pairs of shoes, right? I don't mean just buy some random crappy £10 shoes from Decathlon and just run 1,000 miles in them. Do not do that. You will get injured and you will actually be putting yourself further backwards than you will be pulling yourself forward, right? So going back to what I meant by comfort, the comfort I believe isn't very great in these pair of shoes, right? The back cushioning, I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna have to give it an awkward sort of handle to the screen. So back here where my finger is, it runs a cushioning around the back of it, right? I believe that to be too low. When I put on the shoes, when I put my feet in them, I do feel like I'm wearing flip-flops or Crocs, if you remember Crocs, the ones that have sort of got that Huarache looking strap at the back, right? They run a smooth sort of cushioning around the back, but I do believe it to be a bit low. I think it should be a little bit higher, because when you put your foot in, it feels like this is too low, and it should be higher up where your foot obviously comes in and dips back out, so it keeps your foot stable inside the shoe. You may not know what I'm talking about when I mean that, but just imagine sticking on a pair of Crocs. Everyone's worn Crocs before. Sticking on a pair of those, but bringing that strap a little bit lower. That's what it feels like to run in these. So to compensate, what you do is you sort of just tighten up the laces. You bring those to an absolute tug and you just tighten them up, so then your foot will not come out of this shoe. As well as that, I think I mentioned a minute ago about the high arch. As you can see here, you can see where the stitching kind of goes into the sole of the shoe, the foot of the shoe, whatever it's called. That's my finger there, as you can see. That's exactly where your foot would lay, right? And I believe that to be a bit too high. I know they've scientifically made it around the elite runner's foot type and all that sort of stuff. So I can't really judge too much. They can't obviously make a shoe for everybody. But they fit well. They don't cause injury for me. They don't cause injury for anyone I've seen or anyone that I've spoke to regarding this trainer. So comfort, although it may not be the best, it still provides a lot of cushioning and it still provides all of the benefits that make you a great runner. Now you can probably tell the laces aren't original. These laces here are actually from another pair of trainers called the Mizuno Wave Rider 19s or 20s. A little picture will go up this side showing you what they look like. But I've put these laces on solely for comfort. The original 4% trainer laces, they are a little bit too slim for me. I feel like they're almost like a little wire. Feels like it's a wire, so when you tighten them up and stuff, it really catches onto your foot, because this is sort of like a fly knit material. It's like a sock almost, like a really thick sock, than the original Vaporfly 4%, which are more like a natural shoe sort of material. So when those laces hook onto the sock-like material onto my foot, it feels really sharp. So I changed the laces. If you are experiencing pain on the top of your foot, I can't really demonstrate where in your foot, but the higher part of your foot before it goes into your shin bone. If you're feeling pain around the laces area, probably just change your laces. It may just be because they're too thin and you might need something a little bit thicker. Now to the main question everyone wants to know: do they benefit you in the long run? Quite literally. Do they benefit you in races? Do they give you faster times? If you want a quick short answer, absolutely, yes they do. It has a carbon plate inside, right? The carbon plate, you can actually probably see my other pair of shoes. Let's have a look. My other pair of shoes, you can actually see the carbon plate. Now, you can tell they're absolutely worn, but right here, that there is the carbon plate, right? Now, that's where the controversy comes from. Obviously, the carbon plate being inside of the shoe. Apparently, it's there to be more efficient when it comes to running your runs, because it propels you forwards and it just makes you 4% faster scientifically, apparently. Hence the name Nike Vaporfly 4%, right? Simple as that. So when it comes to actually racing, does it make you faster? Yes, it does. It makes you more efficient. It makes you, you can definitely feel it. So if you're buying a pair of trainers, or if you've actually tried these on in store, you could do what us guys do when we trying a pair of trainers. We sprint up and down the hall like looking like donuts. You probably won't notice it in that 100-meter sprint, right? Or that 20-meter up and down the shop store sprint. You probably won't notice it, but when you are actually running outside of your home, when you're on the streets, on the hills, anything like that, you can definitely tell that they are a lot more stable, and you feel like you're a lot more propelled to go forward rather than just stationary or even just slightly forward. You can definitely feel that they are propelling you forward, and they are providing a lot of kind of momentum to completing your run. How much usage can you get out of this shoe? Again, well, I've run over 1,000 miles in these shoes. That's what they've looked like. I've run on all terrains, from grass, mud, concrete, gravel. I've run on every single type of flooring you can get, type of terrain you can get, and they've done me well. I'm still probably going to train in them until I get the Nike Next Percents, which will probably be in the next couple of weeks when they come back in stock somewhere in this universe, because they are not being sold anywhere unless you're a size 14 foot or you're a size 11 children, right? That's the only sizes they sell for the Next Percents, which is weird because everyone's in demand for them, so you'd think they'd probably make more of them. I don't know. So how many miles can you get out of them? I don't know. That's 1,000 for me. Well, that's over 1,000 for me. I don't know how well you can see this on camera, but they still provide the cushioning. I still feel like I'm being momented forward. So you do get a lot of bang for your buck, sort of thing, if that's the saying. You know, investing, 200 quid, 200 and I think if you're American, $250 or something like that for a pair of these shoes, or $200 for a pair of shoes. It's definitely worth it, because I've got 1,000 miles out of them and I've raced in them and I've definitely seen the benefits. How heavy are they? They're not too heavy at all. They are quite light. With both pairs in your hand, it feels like you're sort of carrying, I don't know, like a pencil case at most. Not even that. They are really, really light, and even when they're absolutely soaked on your feet, they still feel quite light. So if you're running park runs and you're going through puddles, or if you're going through stormy rains on your runs and stuff, they're still quite light on your feet. You know, a normal pair of trainers would probably be the same as these when they're soaked. So they are still quite light on your feet, and you do feel quite quick. when you're, you know, building your cadence. But yeah, they're pretty good. I like them. 1,000 miles has done me well in them, and I will get round to getting the next percents very, very shortly. Yeah, definitely, I would say get a pair of these if you are looking to buy a pair of these, or make the big leap and jump straight from your shoes now into the next percents and skip this generation here, because for a couple quid more, 30 quid more, I believe in the UK, in America, I don't know what, you know, how much of a steep incline it is from the 4% to next percents. But I'd make the big leap. I'd skip this generation. I'd go from whatever you're wearing now all the way to the next one, which is the next percent, just because this shoe here is kind of going out of fashion, man. You know, they're bringing out the next percent. They're actually bringing out the Alpha Flies soon in the midsummer, right? So if that's going to be the case, there's no point going to these. These are going to start to get rusty. But if you're just a hobby jogger and you're not a serious jogger, then maybe, and you're looking for a carbon plate, maybe go for these. You know, I don't see why you wouldn't go for the next percent if they're only a couple of quid more expensive. But yeah, these are great shoes all round anyway. I'm not so keen on the colour. I didn't really want this colour. I don't like the blue. If it was full red, it'd be nice, but yeah, it's alright, it does me well. Now, I think I've covered probably most of the things that people want to know about these shoes. Again, materials, okay, it's nice. The sock material, I do kind of like. If it's got thin laces with them, maybe not so much. I'll just change the laces. They might be a little bit heavier than your old ones by grams, not even, maybe even grams. Milligrams, if that's a thing. But yeah, these are a good pair of trainers otherwise, right? I'd probably criticise the comfort a bit too much. It might fit your foot a lot better than it fits mine. But that's just my preference, my personal opinion. It's got a little handle. Don't know what use that would do you, but it's there anyway. So besides the comfort at the back, and maybe this high arch being a little bit too high for me, this is an all-round great shoe. I would give it probably a solid 8 or a 9. Again, the colour, again, it's just where I couldn't buy any, because they were in fashion at the time, because I couldn't get myself a coloured pair that I wanted. I had to, you know, deal with these. But yeah, they're good. I think I've covered everything I needed to cover. If there's anything I missed, put it in the comments below and I will just reply to it on my personal opinion of them. Do I recommend buying them? Absolutely. If the Nike VaporFly Next Percents, all these words are so confusing. If they are an option for you and you can see them in stock in your size, online, offline, whatever, in store, go for them, I would say. There are a lot more reviews and there are a lot more opinions that are kind of biased to those shoes rather than these shoes. So if they're for just a couple quid more, go for those. Skip this generation here, just because they'll probably do you better. They might not last you as long, but I've heard that they're better, right? So I'm going to be going to those pairs the next time I get round to buying my trainers, which will probably be in about 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It is a short video. If I've missed anything in this video that you wanted me to go over, just ask me in the comment section below. I'll probably reply within 10 minutes because I have nothing better to do than talk about running for some random reason, right? Here's 1,000 miles done in the Nike VaporFly 4%. I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace. Miles done in the Nike Next Percents.
It's the 4%. What the fuck?